Hey guys, welcome back. We are putting the Maybelline SUPERSTAY Full Coverage Foundation to the test today. I'm excited to try this foundation because it is a full coverage foundation and it's supposed to be long lasting. It actually says 24 hours, but hopefully nobody does that. I have the shade 120 Classic Ivory in this, and there's only 16 shades they came out with. I mean, there's not much information on here. I was looking on the website a little bit and it doesn't say if it's for any certain skin type, but it basically just says that it's very full coverage, long-lasting, lightweight, oil-free, and it doesn't clog pores. So that's basically all the information that we get on this. So I'm just gonna get right into trying this out, and I'm gonna do this like all of my other foundation reviews. I'm priming half of my face with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. We'll just put this on the right side of my face only, just to see if a primer makes any difference in the wear of the foundation and how it applies and everything like that. So it does come in a nice glass bottle, which I really appreciate. I love when foundations are in bottles with pumps. I just feel like it makes everything so much easier. And this is actually really light. Shoot, I didn't realize how dark I was. By the way, I just put one full pump in the back of my hand and I picked up about half of that. So this will be a half pump on the side of my face. I feel like it smells like chlorine. Okay, so that is with half a pump, and that covered up just about everything. You can hardly see any of my redness on my acne right here, and it covered up all of my redness on my cheek, and it looks really, really nice so far. So this is blending out really nicely too. It does glide really easily. There's no tug to it, and I feel like it's just really easy to blend out. Okay, so I really don't need to go in with any more, but I kind of want to see if I can build it up just a little bit more over my acne right here. I zoomed you in a little bit closer so you can see a little bit better. And I will be zooming you guys in like super up close after I have everything on, of course. So I still haven't used this whole pump yet. I just took a little bit more. All right, so this is just a little bit more than half a pump, and I think it looks really, really good. It covered up all my redness, so it's definitely full coverage. Definitely buildable. It didn't get heavy when I tried building it up. It looks very smooth on the skin. It's not creasing in my smile line, not kicking up my nose. Yeah, it looks really good so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side now with my brush. This is a Sigma F80 brush, which is my favorite foundation brush. I say that every time I use it. And then I'm taking one more pump of foundation and just picking up a little bit of that. Okay, so this is about a half pump again. I think the shade definitely gets a little bit darker as it dries down because you can see how much lighter it is when I put it on. It isn't oxidizing, but it's just drying to a darker color, so I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, this side's definitely a little bit lighter. It's also blending out really nice and smooth with the brush. This side on my cheek area, of course, it does look a little bit smoother because I did use a pore filling primer. I also did get more coverage out of using the brush, which usually happens because there's no hydration in this from the Beauty Blender. So I only used actually like less than half a pump, and that covered up everything. I definitely don't have to go in with a second layer. I can't see any of my redness on my cheek or on my acne scarring. So I am loving the coverage of this. I might actually go in with a little bit more. I have a pimple up here. Just put a tiny bit over this area on my forehead. Yeah, this builds up really nicely. Sometimes foundations can start looking really cakey and heavy when you build them up, but this one still looks very soft and seamless. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in so you guys can see what it looks like after the first application before I finish up my makeup. Okay, here we are up close. I think it looks really good. It looks very soft, and I love the finish it has. It looks pretty nice in the corners of my nose. It looks really nice over my pores, I think. I don't think they look any more enhanced. I do have quite a bit of dryness on the acne on my chin right now, so it's not enhancing that dryness, but I mean, if you have dryness, you can't really cover it up. So I can see that a little bit, but I don't think it's bad. And so far, I think it looks really good. So I'm gonna finish up my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, this is what it looks like with all of my makeup done, and I love this foundation. I think it looks so pretty on the skin. It's super soft, looks super airbrushed. I think my pores look really minimized compared to normal. Super full coverage. I didn't even have to put concealer on. The only place I put concealer was right underneath my eyes just to brighten them up a little bit, but other than that, I didn't put any other concealer on. All the makeup will be listed down below in the description box in case you guys are wondering what I'm wearing. But yeah, I think it looks really, really good. It's not creasing in my smile lines yet or my chin line. My forehead looks pretty good. So I cannot wait to see what this wears like on my skin. I will be wearing this for probably about 10 hours today, so we'll see how it holds up on my skin, and I will be doing check-ins throughout the day to see where it's at. I completely forgot to say this in the beginning of my video, and I always say this, I just totally forgot, but I do have very oily skin. I also have some dry patches over my acne, and it's mainly caused from the medicine that I take. But other than that, that's basically all you need to know about my skin, is that I do get very oily everywhere, but then I do have just a little bit of dryness over my acne spots. Oh, I have lipstick on my teeth. Okay, so I will check in with you guys in about 4 to 5 hours, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Oh, and by the way, it is 2:25 in the afternoon. Okay, so it is now 7:33 p.m., so it's been 5.5 hours. And I still think the foundation looks amazing. I'm hardly oily. I have a little bit of shine on my forehead, but barely anything. It still looks very soft, and I don't really see anything wrong with it. So I am loving this so far. I'm gonna make it probably 10 hours this time. So I'm really interested to see how this is gonna hold up for the next 5 or so hours. But so far, so good. I'm really enjoying this. It feels really nice and lightweight on the skin too. It doesn't feel super heavy like I'm wearing a really like matte full coverage foundation. It is creasing a little bit in my smile line over here. Not really in my chin line, but honestly, my smile line on this side is kind of deep, so it's really hard for foundations not to crease in there and settle, but that's really the only thing. Other than that though, I think it looks really, really good, and I'm super happy with it so far. So I'll see you guys in a few more hours with my final check-in. All right, guys. It is at 12:40 in the morning, so it's been almost 11 hours now since this foundation has been on my face, and I'm a little oily. My forehead is definitely the shiniest out of my whole face, and also this is the side that I used the primer on. I do think this side is a little bit less oily. Mainly just in my nose area. My forehead looks the same all over. My forehead usually does get pretty oily, but I do think the primer helped a little bit with the oil control on this side of my face. Otherwise, I am super impressed though. Even though I am just a tad shiny on my forehead, it's not separating at all. It's not kicking up. It's not transferring. There's only one spot on my face where I noticed that it transferred, and that's this little dot right here on my nose. I think 11 hours is a really long time to have a foundation on, and for this being that long, I think it looks great. So what I'm gonna do now is blot. This is what I usually do if I love a foundation and I'm getting a little bit oily in it, but it's not separating. I wouldn't be able to do this if it was separating and caking up and just looking nasty. So I do typically carry around blotting papers or blotting powder with me just in my purse when I need it, but I ran out of my blotting paper, so I'm just gonna be using powder today, and I just used the Fenty Beauty blotting powder. This is my favorite blotting powder that I've tried so far. Technically, it would be better to blot off the oil with a paper first and then go with powder, but honestly, I just do that with only powder all the time, and it gets the job done. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take my Morphe E3 brush. This is just a regular tapered powder brush, and I'm gonna pick up a pretty generous amount of this powder, and then I'm literally just going to press it anywhere that I see a shine. So mainly my forehead and the corners of my nose, and I'll just drag it around the rest of my face to take away that shine. See how it just instantly mattifies the skin and soaks up that oil? Okay, so this is what my skin looks like after I have blotted, and honestly, it looks like brand new. It looks like I just applied it. I think it looks really, really good. I can hardly tell that I've had this on for 11 hours. Of course, it doesn't look as soft and smoothed out as it did right when I applied it. It is looking a little bit more textured right in this area, and then my chin is getting a little bit drier, but I still think it looks so, so good. So I'm really impressed with this foundation, and I love it so far. Love the finish it has. I love that I can wear it for that long and hardly get oily at all. And major, major plus that it did not separate on my skin. So if you guys have oily skin like I do, I would definitely recommend this foundation. Even though I did get a little bit oily, it still didn't separate, and that is my main concern. I think the coverage on this foundation was awesome too. I loved how full coverage coverage it was without looking and feeling super thick and mask-like on my skin. I think it definitely had the coverage there without being kind of gross looking. So yeah, I really, really like this foundation. I'm super happy that I tried it out, and I really hope this video helped you guys out. I love doing foundation reviews. I think they're my favorite videos of everything to film. So I'm really hoping that this one helped you out today. And if you like this video, then please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.